All right.
Hey.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Brian Hall, hello from New Hampshire, USA. Hello, mate. Tunny, hi, mate. Isla White, shout out. Stuart, seafood stew. Is that Neil?
Is
it Neil?
Neil, yeah.
Neil, is that you?
Massive shout out to the Isle of Wight crew if you're out there.
Evening, Nick Ward from damp, dark Hampshire. That's where, well, I'm kind of on the border for Hampshire, Berkshire.
We're right on the border with loads here, aren't we?
What's the other shire?
There's Berkshire,
Surrey.
Hampshire, Surrey.
Yeah. Don't know why I'm wearing the headphones.
So we've got a really cool show lined up this week, haven't we? We've actually got our first guest lined up. He's ready and waiting in the background. You guys can't see him just yet, but Kanga from the forums, or Russell, you might know him, but he's coming on to talk about his life and his enthusiasm for the e-bikes. And
does he know that yet? Does he know that's what he's talking about?
I don't know.
No, but basically, I think that what is really, really cool and unique about these shows is we are live across the world and we can bring people in from anywhere across the globe. So if you've got something that you want to talk to us about or something to share, or you just want to sit in on the show and be part of it, come and like just ping me, Rob at EMTB forums. We can buzz you in, and it'd be cool to bring in as many people, show us pictures or whatever, and just be part of what we do on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, which is great fun. By the way, before we go any further with tonight's show, tomorrow is a very special day. It is Rob. It's his birthday tomorrow.
Oh, thanks.
So I want you all to go on to shop.emtbforums.com, get some merch and send it to Rob, all right? It's a little birthday gift.
So I go over there and deliver it to myself?
Absolutely, you've got to go through the whole process, right?
Whilst we're talking about merch, actually, I just thought I've never actually shown the jersey off, have I?
No.
Ever.
There's a jersey.
There is a jersey, and this has been shipped. Not this jersey here, but these jerseys have been sent all over the world, and they are, for anyone that's got one, these are such, and I'm not just saying this because they're mine.
The quality, right?
They are really good quality, and what I really like about them is, there you go, Stu, you see that there? What's that, mate?
That's a zip.
There's a little zip, so you've got a little pocket in there for credit cards and batteries for your GoPro,
or,
and you know, that little lens wipe in there. And they're really good. I mean, I've crashed so many times and I've actually put a little rip in it up there, but that has withstood loads of beating, and these are really good. And you can buy them from shop.emtbforums.com, and they are £38, pounds, UK pounds, and I can ship them anywhere in the world. What else have we got? Who else has joined us?
Wow.
Oh man, loads. So we've got...
So someone saying I loved your crash, Stu. Thanks, Mad Mark.
Alan Wolf, David Neal from Brisbane.
Massive shout out to the Australian guys. Thank you so much. The future is here.
The future is here. Elliot Pine from New York, loving my turbo Levo and you guys. Paul McConnell, hello mate. Hope your Levo's good. John Lambert, cheers mate, happy birthday. Brian Hall, old man. Logan Bike Rider, happy birthday. Big Dog Rob, very happy birthday. UK Northie, me.
Hey.
How you doing? But great to see you all. Great to see you all. Cheers. Did I drink cider with a lemon? No. And I haven't got a house in Devon either, but I really, really want one.
Do you know
just so I can sing the song.
Do you know what made me chuckle? For all the things that somebody could have picked up on about our show, somebody left a comment on one of the YouTube videos for this show about Rob dropping his R's, which I've never noticed in all my life.
I do that.
Apparently you drop your R's. I've never noticed that.
Thanks for the feedback though, whoever left that for me, because I don't know, when I first started YouTube, I started to you look at the comments and you think, it's great when you get a really nice comment, but when you get one that's, constructive feedback, as we call it, you take it a bit to heart. But I've learned just to, there's so many people out there that, are keyboard warriors across the world and tell you some stuff that's insulting, and it's kind of like water off a duck's back now.
Especially YouTube, I think you just got to expect it. It's part of the fun.
You have. Right.
So with that in mind, don't forget to like, favourite and subscribe from today's video. If you're watching this after the fact, it really helps us to know that you guys are supporting us. So give us a like, leave us a comment. It all helps.
And on that note, good night. We'll see you later.
Yeah.
No, only joking. Right, so we've got a few bits and pieces. First of all, let's say hello to Kanga. So let's don our headphones, and hopefully this is going to work. But basically, we met up with, we did our Canuck group ride a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks
wet,
ago.
soaking wet. And we met up with this fine young gentleman just here. Can you hear us?
I can.
Oh,
Yes, and we can hear you.
First time.
Thanks for the young comment.
That's all right, mate. Yeah, I mean, how did we meet Kanga, Stu?
Well,
Or Russ?
So I was first introduced to Russ on the ride that we did at Cannock Chase, and this man has a heart that is made of pure gold. He was so generous, so kind, and so good with his time. I think as a sort of part-time job, he teaches people to ride and helps them through some of the trails with the dog and the monkey. And he was very kind to me and a couple of the other guys, just showing us the trails, making sure we didn't slip down any of the black runs. But yeah, a lovely fella. Really excited to have him on the show, and thanks for coming.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Oh, no problems.
Thank you so much. Yeah, like I was saying a few moments ago, I've been trying to invite people on, and I popped a message out today, and Russ kindly said, yeah, I'd definitely like to come on, so thank you. You're involved in a little bit of the bike industry as well.
I am, yeah.
Give us a little bit about your background and what you do and why you like e-bikes.
Oh, why I like e-bikes, so I can keep up with my ultra-fit friends.
Yeah.
That's why I like e-bikes. I've been riding properly, I'd say, for about 10 years. Originally, I got in with a group at a local bike shop, Iakev, and they used to help out with what's called the Midland XC series, and they used to make the trophies. It's an engineering firm as well, you see. And so I started doing their laser etching, which because I do graphics. So I used to go in there every time they needed trophies, etching, things like that, which eventually led to them asking me to go and work for them. So I went and worked for this company that was an engineering, but also mainly specialised in bike parts. So because we did bike parts, there was a bike shop downstairs, and we used to make hubs and mech hangers and things like that. And we run the bike shop. So with them, I was involved in the bike club and riding and doing things with them. And I also worked with a guy named Dan Critchlow.
Okay.
Now, some of you will have heard of Dan before. He's actually the co-owner of a company called BergTech. A British company making handlebars and pedals and stems and all this kind of stuff. So me and Dan, we used to share an office, and we worked together for a few years like that until eventually, unfortunately, the engineering firm went bump. So Dan went on to work for BergTech full time. And then he also asked me to come along and help him with like demo day events and things like that. And I do some graphics and stuff for them as well. So I'm involved with a lot of I go to a lot of bike, industry things. So I'm over doing shows. I'm here, there, and everywhere. So I know a lot of industry figures and people like that.
Nice,
cool.
And BergTech are I've definitely heard of them. For all the accessories, bars, they do like a myriad of stuff, right, for bikes these days.
Yeah. We started off with pedals because that's where Dan came from. He's a DHer. He's actually an ex-Wheel Cut rider DHer, so he knows his stuff. And him and his friend Dave, the other owner of BergTech, wanted one time just to make their own pedals. So they did. They made these pedals, and obviously they built them at the engineering firm we used to work at, and they started to sell these things, and people started to want them. And because like the circles they were in as well, they were all in the DH circle. They became known in the DH crowd, and you tended to get a lot of people. These are flat pedals, so you tended to get a lot of people like. Josh Bryson's well into the stuff, and PT and people like that. They all use these products.
So I've just got to stop you there, though. What are the DHs? What is the
downhillers?
Downhillers. Oh, okay. All right.
Basically, like steep, fast downhill, big travel, high suspension bikes,
Ah,
just
okay.
like smashing it
Yeah.
downhill.
Right.
All right, amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us. What we're going to do is we're going to go through our bits and pieces and get you involved in some of the chat as well, Russ. So if that's cool with you, thanks very much for your introduction. Is it true that for everyone in the chat, they're getting 95% off BergTech accessories?
No, but I might be able to get them 20.
Awesome,
20.
awesome. I thought I'd ask. All right, so.
Oh, shucks. I'd have to clear that with Dan first, but I just can't get in touch with him tonight.
All right, Stu, what we got? What did we want to talk about?
Okay, so I think we're going to have a bit of a celebration today about the forum. EMTB's forum has been live almost a year, so we just wanted to just talk about where it started and where it's grown to. So, Rob.
Yeah, so it started, in January? Yeah, January, and I think I started with like me, 2 more people.
Right.
And literally it was just a sparse space with nothing on it apart from a few pictures and stuff that I put together.
So talk to me about those early days. What did you do to kind of get the audience and kind of get out there? Because you've got quite a big audience now.
Yeah, I think we have about 4,500 people a day visit, which is minuscule compared to many sites, but that's 4,500 people, unique people every day that come and want to research and learn about bikes, view the pictures, view everyone's comments and kind of that kind of stuff. And there's about, 1,500 members that are registered that post stuff on there.
Hey man, that's really cool.
And the reason I started it is because when I was first into bikes, e-bikes, there was nowhere really that you could go that you could meet up with like-minded people and talk about bikes, and it's grown so much so that I've had to create new sections. So there's a new giant section there, there's a new cube section there, and as it grows we'll have sections for every single bike manufacturer. So they're not all there at the moment just because some bike companies have only got 1 model or 2 models.
Yeah.
But the goal will be to create, there you go, we've got 1,629 registered people who've logged on and left comments and that kind of stuff. But
Cool.
my goal is to create the world's best independent electric mountain bike resource.
Okay.
So, not just forum stuff. I want to create like a front page that's got the best information that you can get about e-bikes. So it's been really good, man. It's been really interesting kind of putting it all together. And
Do you know that, honestly, to hear you say that just fills me with the most amount of glee. Because if you knew Rob kind of before all this, he doesn't do anything by halves. If this man does anything, you know that he is going to smash the pants out of it. So for him to say that, I think you should just watch the space because, a bit of determination and some good luck.
why not? I think if you want to do something and you put your mind to it, you can. So anyway, next year we got some really cool things that are happening. So there's going to be a brand new kind of homepage. A few people might have seen a preview of it already, which has got like really kind of high quality posts and kind of editorial, great photography, and a really, really slick layout. And
cool.
I'm looking for people to like help. If there's anyone out there that's got some editorial skills or likes writing and would like to be part of it, and I'm going to work out some kind of revenue share as well. So if you contribute, you kind of get some reward back. It'll be small, but it'll be some reward. So I want it to be like really community based, and it's kind of like a collaboration of people coming together and generating really cool content.
Mate, that's so cool that you do that because you can see that through everything that you do. It's all about the community and about bringing everyone together. So yeah, fantastic, man.
Thanks, mate.
That's really cool.
Thanks.
So can you remember what your first ever post was on the forum? What the first post that went live?
No. Probably me saying, "Hey, I'm Rob," to myself. And I probably created a fake account and said, "Hey, Rob, this is Bob. Nice to meet you." Like 1 minute after you've just magically found this forum. But no, it's been really, really cool and it's grown massively. But I want to say a massive, massive thank you to everybody here because everyone helps make the forum what it is in a really, really great space. But the people on the screen are actually financially backing me and helping me put all this stuff together. So Al, Alex, Anders, Andrea, Asperina, Ben, Brian, Chris, Clint, Dale, Darren, Dave, David C, David T, Dominic, Edward, Gary W, Glyn, Greg, Ian, James, Jeff, Jono, Kaleidos, Camille, Carsten, Kiwi, Larry, Lewis, Louis, Mark, Martin, Mike, Nelson, Nigel, Pa, Paul, Pekka, Peter, RMH 1009, Rob, Ronald, Rory, Samson, Stephen, Steve, Stumpy and William.
Mate, well done.
you legends, because you really, really help all of this stuff come to life. So massive thank you. And if you do want to become a Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/Rob EMTB and really kind of help drive this e-bike stuff to the next level.
You've had such an adventure though in the last 12 months though, right? I mean, if you go back through the videos on YouTube, you've been to Dubai, to Scotland, you've done countless kind of forum rides and events, you've done festivals, camping in tents. I mean, what a year you've had. It's been incredible. It's
been really kind of weird, because I've worked full-time for a company or two companies since the age of like 17, and to go and do something by yourself, it's quite in a way liberating, but quite, I don't know, scary as well, because who knows what's going to happen. So anyway, it's been cool. It's been really, really interesting.
Cool.
But in terms of bringing like communities together, that's what I think really helps drive it. And the group rides that we do are just fantastic. That's where we get to meet people like Russ and all the people that we've met on the group rides. We've done, what have we done? 4 or 5? I can't remember. 4, maybe 5. But I've just made friends all over the UK. That's been just amazing. That's how we met Russ and Gat and all the people that we've talked about in the past. And then we've got another group ride coming up in Swinley Forest. I signed you up for it, mate.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Yeah,
when is it?
It is on the 18th. Is it the 18th?
Oh, wow. So
18th. Hold on, let me just double check that. It's a Sunday, and it is the Sunday the 18th.
Kanga, I hope you're coming, mate, because you make a good wingman. Fingers crossed.
I'm coming down.
You're coming down.
You'll
Brilliant.
Be there,
yeah, so Sunday the 18th, we've got already we've got like 22 or 23 people signed up. So they're going to come.
Brilliant.
I'd love to get.
I've heard it's supposed to be sunny.
Yeah, the sun is coming.
It's not sunny this time.
If it doesn't come, we're going to bring these massive lights that we have in the studio, and we're going to use those. But what I want to do with these group rides is, as they start to grow, have people like brands that you would have all heard of that come along and support, so give like samples and advice, and don't try and sell people stuff, but just want to really connect with the community as well.
Oh, cool.
So we're organising hopefully something for the one on the 18th, and then after that next year more and more brands and companies come along, and
cool.
I don't want it to be like a convention where people just want to try and sell stuff. I want it to be like a real community feel to it.
What about the bike shop that's down there? I know that I bumped into their bike last time we were down there.
Yeah,
do you reckon
Swinley Bike Hub. They're signed up.
Oh,
yeah, they're setting up a stand and all that kind of stuff. So
brilliant.
Yeah, so that's going to be good. And I was going to say something else, but I can't remember. I'll come back to it.
Well, talking of all the amazing people that you've met along the way, Berkshire Cycles, right? They've been an incredible part of the journey. And I believe you've got a bit of an update about those guys this week. Yeah,
well, actually, it's. I know we haven't spoken about the Levo for a while, but it is still quite a hot topic online.
What's going on?
Well, first of all, there was the motor, the really noisy motor, which has now been sorted. My bike is like a whisper bar. It's just like.
So no, not even a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but not loads. So that's sorted, but the next piece has been like dirt and stuff getting into the motor.
Right.
Like, so.
You'd expect that on a EMTB.
Well, yeah, I guess so, but do you though? Do you expect it? Do you expect dirt to get into a little casing on a motor? I don't know, but it does. So there's been quite a few people online that have posted pictures and feedback about they're opening their motor casing, and like literally the forest is dropping out like twigs and leaves and all that kind of stuff.
Oh wow.
Specialized did put a post on the forum to say, hey, look, thanks for your feedback. It is totally fine. There's no issue with it. The motor's sealed. It's IP rated. I can't remember the exact rating, but it's not totally waterproof or totally dustproof, but it's ranked to a certain level to stop stuff getting in it, basically. So I was like, right, what is this all about? I'm going to go down and see Chris and see what he says. So I caught up with him, and I've got a full video coming out, by the way, of behind the scenes again for Berkshire Cycles. And I just want to say I am not paid, sponsored. I have no affiliation with them. They are my local dealer. They're 10 minutes up the road, and they're bloody brilliant. And that's why I always talk about them, because they're really good. But I just want to show you this. I went down there today to see them.
So is this the one you've been looking at, the kind of, I guess, so-called issue that stuff gets down into this little casing? I just have a quick look on there. What do you think about that? And you were talking about bike and maintenance and cleaning and all that kind of stuff. How much should we need to clean these bikes and take care of them? And what are your thoughts on this thing here?
Well, the reason the motor is out of this one is that we had a customer that you might know very well, Rob, that brought a carbon off of us and done a few rides where he filmed it and had a very noisy motor.
Was that my bike by any chance?
It possibly could have been. If you're riding in muddy conditions, it's going to always be a bit of a problem. So this is what we've got open at the moment. We're looking at here. You can see this piece here. You've got a gap in there, which isn't brilliant. So like on your one, on the others, we've made a gasket to be able to seal this up. They're talking about now that this is a 3-bolt fixing, that they're going to make a 4-bolt fixing, which again is just going to make things a little bit nicer. So it's just running developments. You know, everyone is learning all the time, including Specialized. This is where it is basically open, and it is causing the problem that the crud is coming down here.
So I've got this bike and I've ridden it I've probably done well over 300 miles now, and I've ridden in terrible conditions, from like torrential rain, really, really wet and muddy, typical British conditions, really. Yeah. What do I need to do in terms of maintenance to make sure that my bike stays in top kind of condition and is going to prolong the life of all the components and motor and the battery and all that kind of stuff?
Well, how I got round it with my bike is I gave you my engine, Rob. so it just sits in the workshop. No, all joking apart, you know, it's just basic maintenance. This is one that we're looking at now. Again, a little bit of lubrication on there, a little bit of GT85. It always works quite nice because it's alley to alley. So I have undone this one a little bit. Put the 3mm Allen key in. Pull the battery lead out the way. And then the case just pops down.
Okay.
So as you can see, that's the electrics inside. So this here is where everyone is saying that they have a problem with the crud in here, you know, because it's a void really. So on some of ours now, what we're doing is we're putting the foam that Specialized are recommending to go in, not only in here where the hole is across the top, because that's where the opening is, but we're actually putting the foam in here as well. So when you're doing the maintenance on the bike, obviously you open this side up and literally pull the sponge out.
Can you hear us?
Give it a little bit of a dust off. Blow everything out.
I'm going to ask you what you think about this in a minute.
Is the best
way
of
right?
looking after your bike. You know, they've changed the lead here. You know, we've banged on last year about the cable modification.
Crap in the motor.
Specialized have changed the lead, made it a lot easier to fit into the motor, and also
we'll chat, and then if you've got anything you think,
with the clip
let us know.
biting on it.
We had this gap in
the 2018
he will
bike.
do when we buzz him in a minute.
If you looked at all the aluminium
because that's live now.
Part of the frame was this plastic cable case that's here. So on the early Levos, the frame, this was all the frame. So it was
that'd be brilliant.
Easier to seal.
Yeah.
So what they've done again to save weight, obviously they've gone to like the way that the carbon bike fitted
that sounds
produced
good.
last year, If you
Do we loan
remember,
them out,
Rob,
then
on
take
yours,
them off
you had
at
a
the
nice
end?
little plastic guard along here, which just literally any muck or anything that went on there then dropped in through here. So you didn't have it going into the motor. You know, we stress, we open the motor up like this to be able to show them how easy it is. And it's literally a 10-minute job. You know, you don't have to be a bicycle repairman to do it. You just need 2 Allen keys, an 8mm and a 3. Once it's open, blow it all out and put it back together, and it's as straightforward as that.
Okay.
So,
and how often should you be doing that?
well, again, if you're riding, in the dry, then, every few months is not a problem. But, again, I always say this, but if you have a rally car or a motocross bike and you're riding through mud, then you need to do it, all the time. So if you've gone out with the guys and had a fantastic weekend and you come back and you're covered in mud, just remember what your little bike's going to look like inside. It's going to be the same.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it. I'll show you later, Rob. How to
Cheers,
do it.
mate. I just bring it in normally. So is this the one you've been in?
There you go. We are so pro, aren't we? Like, you could hear us chatting and trying to cue this next little segment up. But thank you for the feedback, and we will start to learn one day how to use this. So basically, I was just talking to Russ and saying, what do you think of that? What do you think of that, Russ? I know you've not got that bike, but you were riding the pivot shuttle on the last ride, and you've read the thread in the forum. What do you think about all that build-up of the crap? Is it an issue? Is it a non-issue? Do you just need to clean your bike?
I'd say if Specialized was saying it's a non-issue, then it's pretty much a non-issue. If their warranty guy's saying, look, carry on, just put this foam in there or we'll sort it out, and it means that they're then responsible for any warranty work. So I'd be quite happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, I've not done the foam, I've not done anything. It's like a SpongeBob that you put in there to block a hole.
So what do you normally do then when you get back from a ride? I mean, what's your kind of after ride care package?
Put it in a stand.
Yeah.
Jet wash the bearings.
Right.
No, I don't really. I don't ever do that.
Yeah, always jet wash your bearings.
Get a jet washer. I go to the local car wash and just ride it through.
Right, this is a serious question. I genuinely want to know.
No, honestly, all I do is I just I use spray, bit of muck off,
Right.
that good stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff.
And just literally clean it down. I've not, you just got to look after it.
You don't ever get into the motor and start cleaning that out? No.
No.
Okay.
No. For exactly Russ's point, as long as you're kind of taking good enough care of it, it's warranted, it's sealed, it's been designed that way, I'm happy with that.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Do you want to have a go at cleaning my bike next?
Well, I didn't clean the last one, did I? So I just kind of just chuck them back in and then...
Right. So, right. Oh, yeah, we were talking on the kind of subject of warranties and stuff.
Yeah.
At some point, your 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 grand bike, the warranty is going to run out.
Right.
So if you've got a car and the warranty runs out and your engine blows up, what do you have to do?
Well, you have to find a new engine and get a mechanic to put it in, I guess.
Yeah.
So, hang on, but what's the traditional length of a standard warranty?
It's like 2 years.
Oh, I've still got these headphones on.
2 years. Because Russ is still there, he might talk.
Oh, good.
It's 2 years.
Yeah.
So if you've got a bike and you're 2.5 years and your motor stops working,
Right.
like, what do? There's an answer. Because there's a dude called Bearing Man, and he is on the forum. But I think this is really interesting because what he has done is he's dismantled all the most of the motors and found essentially the parts that are going to fail, the bearings in there, and realised that they are bespoke made bearings. You can't just go and buy them from any supplier.
Right.
And he's gone and had his own manufactured.
Has he?
To the exact same standard as what's in the actual motors.
Right.
So in 2.5 years, if your Bros motor, Bosch or whatever starts failing, you can buy a kit from him, or you can send him the motor and he will like refurb it or replace the bearings or do all that good stuff. I just thought
that's really cool. So what, you can find him on your forums, yeah?
You can.
So anyone having trouble with their motor, get on emtbforums.com, search out the Bearing Man and ask him your questions.
Yeah, and he's he's been really helpful on the forum. He's answered loads of questions. I don't know if he's got the kits for the Bros motor at the moment, but I think he's doing it and he's ordering it, and I just think it's good.
What a legend.
What a legend. Have you seen him? Did you see him?
Sorry.
Did you see him, Stu, the bearing man? Russ, sorry.
Yeah, I've read those things as well. I think by the time those motors are out of warranty, he'll have got everything ticked off and know exactly what's what, and he'll be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I just think that's good. Good to know, isn't it? Good to know that there are options if stuff goes wrong.
Yeah.
We've been doing some research for Stu because he's looking at buying a e-bike, and we've been talking about like the next generation bikes.
So I've got some very specific requirements, and Rob thinks he's found the perfect solution.
And thanks to Nick Morris for sending this in. But this is the
Nick,
bike.
is that you, Nick?
That Nick sent this in. This is Stu's bike that he is going to be purchasing and riding at Swinley. This is the latest in e-bike technology. Look at that. Look at the graphics on it.
Oh my word.
The ergonomics.
That's so aerodynamic. That's going to be... look at those wheels.
Look at the wheels.
Wow.
Tubeless. Rally.
Wow.
It's got, look at those. Oh, mate.
Mate, have I got one of your decals on there?
Yeah.
Some racing stripes.
And a EMTB Forums jersey.
Oh, mate.
Who remembers that? Look at that. That is amazing.
That's like that VT.
It is, isn't it? That has got to be. Is it?
Where did you find that picture?
I don't know. Nick sent it in. I was like, that is going on the show. But that looks really, really neat. No, in all seriousness, there are some really, really cool bikes for 2019. We've seen a lot of them. We've seen previews of the Fly-On, the Lapierre, and there's Vitus have just kind of announced their 2019 range, which is pretty much the same as what they've got out at the moment, the amazing Vitus e-Summit VR. And for 2019, it's in that kind of pretty much blacked out bike. I know R120, you've just joined. You've got the Vitus. I think you've got a couple of them, the hardtail and the full sus. They sold out really, really quickly. I managed to get a test bike from Vitus. I liked it. Really, really great bike, and that's really cool. And looking forward to that one coming out, and hopefully we can grab a test from them.
Yeah, I think Mad Mark, he's got that about right. Stu could crash that well. I think you're right. I'll see you at Swindley, all right? We'll give it a go.
Yeah. And what else? So there's a new bike there's a brand called Thok, Thok. I think they're Italian, and they've got a bike called the Thok MiG R. And they've gone into a partnership with Ducati, and they've got this Thok MiG RR. Look at that, Stu. What do you think of that?
Wow, that's stunning.
Now, it is not a Ducati. It's like a licensing deal where Ducati have kind of customized it and put their own spec together. But I think that looks really, really neat. I mean, I don't necessarily think you need the Ducati branding on it, but...
Why do you think they've done that?
Well, this was at the centre stage of their motorbike launches that they've just had.
Right.
So they had this right in the middle, apparently.
Okay.
It took centre stage. I just think there's a big crossover, isn't there, between motorbikes or powered two-wheeled machines, whether it's a motorbike with an engine or a e-mountain bike. Obviously, they're distinctly different, but I think at some point we're going to see even more blurred lines between the two. So I don't know, I just think it's really interesting that they're kind of, putting their name to an e-mountain bike.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if a brand like that is getting behind it, then absolutely.
I think it looks neat.
Yeah,
right.
Really
what is the time? 22:10. So we've probably got a few questions, a bit of feedback that we can go through. What's going on in the chat? Alexander Rose says sexy. Is that the Ducati or the little bike for Stu? Or me or Stu? Or us? Mad Mark, so they can charge more money. Yeah, I reckon that will be probably have £1,000 Ducati tax on that one. What else have we got? Reminds me of K9. What's that, Russ?
K9.
K9,
Yeah.
Doctor Who's dog.
Oh, is it? I didn't watch
Well,
Doctor Who.
robot thing.
Right, so we got. Oh, by the way, thanks for all the questions. I've had so many emailed to me, like loads, and I think I've pretty much answered every single one back. So if anyone's got any feedback or questions about anything, I will do my best to answer it. So email me at rob@emtbforums.com, pop it in the chat, and
we're going to make a real feature of the questions. So keep them coming. Let us know you're going to send them in. We'll build up a good bank of them, and then we'll just go through them at the end of the show.
Right. So what we got, Stu? We got some questions in.
We have. So we had this one sent in. Right, it was an email sent to you. Hi Rob. After watching your London to Brighton bike ride, it would seem very fitting to ask your opinion of the Specialized Levo e-bike, please. I am new to e-bikes, and although I have done a lot of road biking, a Cannondale C1 carbon hybrid, I've been seriously considering going off-road. I hasten to add, I am only interested in forest trails, and I'm definitely not contemplating jumps and boulder descents, etc. At 65, that's amazing, I will leave this to the slightly younger generation. To summarise all the variables of most e-bikes on the UK market, would the Levo 2019 model, given its approximate 5k price tag, be a good choice as a starter e-bike, please? Bearing in mind, I only intend to purchase one e-bike to cover all my off-road biking. Or do you think that would be total overkill and I should get a cheaper make model? Incidentally, I intend to ride 3 or 4 times a week, mainly in the Wyre Forest and surrounding areas of Worcestershire. I would be grateful for any comments, suggestions that you may have to offer. Please, kind regards, Andrew.
Cheers, Andrew. I did reply and say we'll answer this on the show tonight, so I hope you're watching. I mean, that's a massive budget, really, and that is a lot of bike that you will get. So, yes, it would be an awesome bike, no doubt about that. You don't need to spend $5,000, really. You can get really good bikes for less than $5,000. We mentioned the Vitus. Maybe that's got a bit too much travel, but there are some very, very good bikes that you can get for, £3,500–4,000.
So what would you do if it was you?
$5,000. If that's what your budget is and you're happy to spend $5,000, you are going to get a really, really great e-bike, like a fantastic e-bike for $5,000. You could get a really, really great e-bike for $4,000 though,
Wow. So take the Levo off the table.
Yeah, I don't know, guys, help me out. Have you got any
Rally Vector from
any suggestions? Any kind of what bike could you get for $5,000 max kind of budget? What do you think, Russ?
Perhaps the Merida.
Oh yeah.
Or an Orbea.
Yeah.
The Orbea do a few range in the cheaper end. So they do the Wild FS and the Wild Hardtail. What else? We've done the Vitus. Yeah. You said that.
The Commensal as well do a great range.
Yeah,
of
the
bikes.
Commensal's a good bike, but that's more enduro focused, I think.
Canyon. If you want a direct.
Canyon's good.
Yeah, I think all of those bikes are going to be really, really good quality bikes. So the Levo, yes, would be a great choice. 3 to 4 times a week, that's an amazing amount of riding you're going to be able to do. But you don't have to spend that amount of money.
I mean, Big Mac definitely reckons it's overkill.
Yeah, so Sideshow saying Levo Comp, UK Northeast saying Trek. Big Mac, like Stu says, overkill, get a cheaper hardtail. Personally, I'd always advise full SAS just because it's so much more comfortable.
I'm the same as well, always full SAS, especially for an e-bike.
Yeah.
And especially with his age for the comfort.
Yeah. 5 Halfords e-mountain bikes. Cool. You could have one for each day and have one spare for when the others break. So yeah, thanks for your question. Andrew, go onto the forums, pop that on there as well because you'll get some really, really good pieces of advice. Right, what else we got here? Sorry, Russ, go on.
Can I just say one more thing on that one? I think one thing you should look for, though, is which bike manufacturer or either motor manufacturer gives the best after-service warranty and support, because that you don't want to be messing around too much. If he's got a problem, he wants to know it's going to get fixed quick.
Yeah.
So definitely. have a look around and see what the support and warranty's like for the, after sale stuff.
Yeah, totally. It's these aren't just regular bikes that you can get an Allen key out and fix it all yourself. You can do a lot of it, but when it comes to battery, wiring harnesses, electronics, motors, all that stuff, it's a bit of a different ball game. All right, what we got?
Okay, so Chris Head is asking, how good are compatible batteries for such as the Yamaha motor and the Bosch motor? So yeah,
I haven't got any experience using, you mean third party batteries, but I do on cameras, on my GoPro, on my Panasonic, and I know there are bike brands out there that use different batteries, like third party batteries. As long as it's from a reputable company, I'm sure that it's going to be fine.
Yeah, Russ, any feedback?
I don't know anything about these after sales compatible batteries. Was it Rocky Mountain or Giant used a Panasonic battery with their was it Bosch motor? One of them did, didn't they?
Yeah, and I was talking to a company called Whisper who were at Eurobike. They use a Shimano E8000 system. They don't use a Shimano battery. They use a third party. I think you should be good. I mean, I don't know how good they are, but I think you should be fine. Logan Bike Rider 007, I'm comparing 2019, the standard Levo and the Levo comp at the moment, but cannot justify the comp over the standard. Any thoughts? Out of the box, they're all really, really good bikes. I think the comp is going to be a good bike, but the standard is going to be really good. You can get that. You can still get an amazing frame, an amazing package, and when you need to, or if you need to, at some point in the future, you can change stuff. So you can change your forks, I wouldn't worry about any of the components like the shifters and the mech and all that stuff, because unless you really, really want to save weight, there's marginal differences. The main difference is going to be the fork and the rear shock, and if you're going to go for carbon versus aluminium. Other than it looking slightly different, real world benefits, not really that much. Whatever you get, it's going to be a good bike, a really good base, and you can, if you want to, change. So you don't need it. It's more of a want versus a need.
Okay.
So when you're looking at, when you look at a spec sheet and you're like, oh, that looks good. And then you look at the next one and you're like, oh, that looks good. It comes with those things there. I need that. Pardon me. Excuse me. You don't need it. You probably want it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. With
a little burp in there, excuse me.
Right, how about Nick Ward's question? Okay, so gents, talk to me about saddles. I feel your pain, bro. Been following threads on saddles on the forum. My Scott 700 tuned is bloody killing me. Measured it 130 millimeters. Tried padded shorts, still no good. See you at Swinley.
See you at Swinley, Nick. I don't know. I've only ever had a problem with a saddle when I've got a new saddle, and then it's like, we spoke about this like a month or so ago, and we were talking about you just need to deal with it, bro, and then get over the pain, because your butt develops somehow, and you just, I don't know, I just find that you can soak it up and it's fine. You can get...
Russ, any thoughts?
They usually say about 3 rides then you can get adjusted to any saddle, but I do think it has a lot to do with... I do think it has a lot to do with the sit bones. So your sit bones are a certain width apart and they suit different saddles and things like that. But there are some saddles out there that suit a lot more people than other ones. It's like some of the racy, sporty saddles, you'll see them as very thin, very narrow, and look quite hard. They are more designed for racers, but they will be comfortable to a certain group of people because the flex is in the comfort is in the flex of the saddle, not the padding. You'll find there's some saddles, like particularly the fabric saddles and some of the WTB ones, suit a wide range of people, and you'll always see these things. The same saddles will always crop up as recommendations when you go places. People quite often recommend a fabric scoop, or is it a WTB Volt, and the old Bel-Airs. They were quite comfortable as well, and quite. These saddles all tend to be a similar shape though as well.
Yeah, Kiwi's just recommended a Bel Air as well. Like literally, as you said, he's mentioned it.
Yeah, the older model Bel Air seem to be more comfortable than the newer model. So I think they've got a Mark 1 and a Mark 2, and the Mark 1 is generally regarded as more comfortable than the Mark 2.
Yeah. Sideshow said just ride more. UK Northie, harsh but maybe fair, man up. Ergon saddles, +1 for Ergon for the Big Mac from the Big Mac. I think, maybe just do a few more rides, and if it's still hurting, maybe order something from Chain Reaction. Can you try it and then send it back, or is that like buying a pair of pants and sending them back? I don't know.
That'd be a bit harsh.
I don't know.
Also, when you're with a group of other riders, just jump on their bikes and try their saddle out and see what you think.
Yeah, you'll be able to do it at Swinley. You're going to have 23 different saddles almost to try, depending on what saddles people are riding. But yeah,
Could be a new little game. Just pass the saddle.
Yeah. Sounds real fun.
It can be
great. Right. What else? So UK Northie, can you split the group into smaller groups on the group rides? Yes. The last group ride, we had such good intentions of all like sunny day and cruising around in a big group. There was 20 of us that made the most heavy rain downpour of the last year easily. And we all went out in one big group, and it was carnage, wasn't it? We all got lost and split up and all that kind of stuff. So yes, we will definitely do groups, but Swinley is quite small. It's quite compact. There's only 2 trails. There's a bit of off-piste stuff, but we'll definitely do some smaller groups. So if you just want to kind of cruise around at leisurely pace, totally. And if you want to, we might do 3 groups. If you want to do something like a bit more intermediate. And then if you're a little bit faster and feeling like you want to kind of just have a bit of a blast, or maybe Swinley is your local and you just want to, smash it around there, maybe we'll do a group for that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You'll find me at the back of the last group, all right?
Well, we did a ride at Swinley. You've got fond memories of that, didn't you?
Really fond, yeah. It was...
the shoes and the falling off. And
Yeah. Thanks. I think it's been immortalised forever on YouTube. You check out one of the previous videos.
Yeah.
It's like a slow motion replay of a really good event that happened.
It was. Right. Vert and Dirt, be rad if eventually you have a roving reporter photog for races with
really
pit
good
bits of the pros. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to support and contribute with that, let me know, man, because that would be awesome.
Amazing.
I'd love that. That'd be really cool.
Oh, cool.
John Lambert, there needs to be something like EMTB here in Australia, or at least a lot more members. It hasn't really taken off here as much as it has in the UK and Europe. I wonder why. I mean, I have this vision that Australia would be I'm sure it is an amazing place for mountain bikes and e-mountain bikes. I wonder, there's an additional cost, isn't there, with bikes that are sold in Australia, and is it anything to do with that, or I don't know why that is.
I wonder what the laws are over there, if there's any restrictions with the laws, with the trails and stuff.
I think there is, but I don't think it's too dissimilar to what we have here.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a couple of years, John, and it will be a bit more like it is.
Well, John, maybe you should be that pioneer, and if we can help you along the way, let us know.
Yeah.
Logan Bike Rider 007. I was comparing the Cube Stereo 160 and the Levo STD, but now swaying to the STD Levo because of price and the Bose motor. Any thoughts?
The STD Levo.
Yeah.
Is that standard? Is that a standard Levo?
Are you sure that's not a sexually transmitted disease?
Levo, yeah. I think it is. I've never ridden the Cube Stereo, but I know some people that have it and say it's an amazing bike. Yeah, I do like the Bose motor personally. It's silent, mostly silent when you get one that is silent. But there's a few people on the forum that have got the Cube Stereo, and it does look really, really good. I know, Samson, are you on the chat? Because I know you've got one. Dawn Razor from the forum has got a beautiful looking Cube Stereo. It's got like Fox factory forks. It's a really nice colour scheme. It's like a red, or really bright red, and then grey. It looks really good. I don't know what it is to ride, but he really rates it, and it's really good value as well. Mad Mark, you have it. It's great. There you go.
Cool. Enough said.
Yeah, try them both out if you can.
So last one, Brian Hall. Rob, all the rides you have taken with your Turbo Levo, How is the battery condition working out?
I don't know. Honestly, I very rarely use mission control, and I don't really look at. I use Levo sometimes, but I don't really. I don't know. You can get really bogged down into all of that stuff and the condition, and is it 95% or is it 90%, and what should it be? I don't know. I just charge it and ride it. Honestly, I know that might sound like quite a, I don't know, flippant kind of response to that, but I have never checked it, because I guess that if I did check it and I did look at it and it was like 30%, I'd just take it to Chris at Berkshire and he would say, yeah, that's not right, and give me a new one. But I don't know. Anyone else that's got a Levo, they check their battery condition and what's it at, you might be able to help me answer that one, because I've not checked it at all.
Cool.
Right,
Well, that's
so
all I think for this week.
Peter Hansen, you've got a Cube stereo. Benny Taswood, what's the release date for the Fly on? June 2019, which is really interesting because that's a year after they announced it. They announced it in June 2018 at Eurobikes. It's 1 year. It's a long time, isn't it? How do you get info and sign up for Swinley? Yeah, Nick said on the forum pages, go to EMTB forums, go to the ride out section, sign up for Swinners, see you there. Mark Smith, in the winter use ACF 50 on your motorbike to keep the rust at bay, good at repelling water on an e-bike wiring loom. As in the past, you get error gremlins after a soaking. ACF 50 is like a, I think it was originally made for like helicopters.
Right.
It's like a real hardcore water repel, a bit like WD-40 but on steroids.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
yeah, it's good.
A new bit of merch there, Rob.
All right, I think that's it, isn't it? Russ,
Thank
you so much for your time this evening.
No problem.
Maybe we'll see you again soon. And if you are interested in getting involved, being live, beaming yourself across the world, we've had about 100 people watching us at peak, which is really cool. It'd be really, really good. So let us know. But what we will do is we'll say good night. Cheers. Thanks
Cheers,
for staying
guys.
with us, and
Been a pleasure.
enjoy the rest of your day, evening, afternoon, wherever it is that your time zone is in. And we will see you all soon. So
Don't
cheers.
forget, happy birthday messages to Rob for tomorrow. All right. See you next week.
Cheers, and we will see you soon. Take care. Bye.